All right. First and foremost, we're gonna turn face east and we're gonna give all praise and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Kakadash. And double on to the Apostle Edison Jimenez. Citations to your brother pushing word of truth and sincere for corners. We GMS Mississippi Camp, and we gonna go in like we always do. All right. This word may be old y'all, but guess what? I don't give a fuck. Our job out here is to teach this word. All right. So like the apostle always say, if you tired of hearing it, go to another channel. Let's go ahead.
Okay. Look, you see these people on the side? These are the chosen people, the firstborn. You know, the most precious of the people on the earth. We are the lords of the earth. You know, and we're able to claim that title through Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. You know, because once he comes on this earth and set up his rulership, we're gonna be in his image. What a joint heir means. A joint heir means to be like that person. You're not him, but you're joint in with him. You know?
Means you're the inheritance Yahweh Shai get is gonna be divided amongst those joint heirs. That's those titles. Mm-hmm. Going back to the title of lesson, lords of the earth. Because he Lord of Lords. Mm-hmm. So we're the lords under him. You know? So we're going to inherit those titles and authority, the land, revenue. You know, because when you're entitled to certain lands, you're entitled to the revenue that comes with those lands. And you have to be obeyed. You inherited the authority that you have to be obeyed. Mm. You know? But when you inherit something, you know, you inherit everything that comes with it. You know?
Just to back you up on this Google definition of joint heirs. A joint heir is a person who shares the right to inherit property, assets, or a title with whom or more other people.
Mm. Well, Yahweh Shai is coming to claim the earth. The earth. You know? Yeah, you know? You're going to be given parts of the world. And what's inside this world?
It's like because what the Lord say, sit down my right hand, so like me, you know, the heathen dies and pay inheritance. You know, so we about to share into that inheritance with Yahweh Shai. You know, claiming these people, man, for our own property. Mm-hmm. You know, you got to.
But that's, as the brother said, that's the heathens, that's animals, that's resources, trees, you know, precious metals and stones. You know, minerals, you know, the abundance, everything. But that earth is just a start. Earth is just a start. It was I know y'all remember this old cartoon. You know, y'all remember He-Man? What they called Masters of the Universe. You know, Masters of the Universe. Because why? He has made you, the 12 tribes of Israel, to what? To be rulers of the earth, a special people, consecrated, separated.
Deuteronomy 5:6. They're going to set the tone.
I got that one. This is Deuteronomy chapter 15, the 5. My bad. You said 5.
Yeah, Deuteronomy 15, verse 5.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 15, verse 5 and 6. It says, only if thou carefully hearken unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy power, to observe to do all these commandments which I command thee this day. Mm-hmm. For the Lord Yahweh thy power blesseth thee as he promised thee, and thou shalt lend unto many nations, but thou shalt not borrow.
That's you all extending yourself, your resources, because they have to come to you for it. They have to come to you for it, you know. You're lending because what? You over what they want. You over the material. You over the land. You over the vegetation. You know what? A lord. That's where the word landlord come from.
Look at the Rothschilds. Look at what's his name? Bow put his sons out. His 5 sons out, right? Yeah. That's right. He put his sons out in all the different countries, right? France, I think. I can't name them all, but guess what? And if they went, everybody went to them for they lend the money. But even though when they came back, they had to pay double. But guess what? They had the money to lend to. The same way we gonna have it. But the difference is it's gonna be in righteousness. All right.
They had to pay double, but that was just a return on investment.
Oh yeah.
Like your house in the parable. You know?
Yeah.
I had 2 talents, he flipped it. The guy had 5 talents, he flipped it. You know, that's just your house. When your house out comes, that's just, the return on investment. You know, he gave it freely, so we give it freely, but there is going to be a reward for your righteousness. It's going to be a reward for your belief, your faith in him. When nobody had faith in him, when everybody else hated him or tried to denounce him, you know?
It says, and thou shalt reign over many nations, and they shall not reign over thee. Reading NLT for you. It said, you will receive this blessing if you are careful to obey all the commands of the Lord Yahweh your power that I am giving you today. The Lord Yahweh your power will bless you as he has promised. You will lend money to many nations, but you will never need to borrow.
Look, this is showing you that he made you to be the rulers of the earth. Because what is this talking about? What is this going to? These going to the law, statute, commandments. And who did he give those to? Israelites. The sons of God. He didn't give this to the Moabites, the Ammonites, Edomites, the rest of these nations.
Even going back to the garden, that's the breath that Adam got. That's why Adam got that breath. Because you go to keep the garden. Because like you're going into, just add to what you're going into. Because the priests, they was also the bankers. That's why when they would come, when Israelites would come from different lands, they would Israelite men had to come back. Those 3 high holy days, the Passover, the Feast of Tabernacles, okay, and the Feast of Weeks. So those 3 high holy days, they would come back from their different lands, and they would have to exchange their currency. They would have to go to the temple, and there was the Levites, and the priests that was handling the currency, and which we're gonna be kings and priests in the earth. So we're gonna be the bankers, but it's gonna be a righteousness like the brother getting into. And even when you go into that word keep in the Hebrew, shamar, well, that was the same charge that Moses, the Most High through Moses gave the priests to keep the temple. Showing you that Adam was a priest. You see? But he got that breath like you're going into. He got that wisdom to run the earth. Moses got the law to run the earth.
Last part. It says, you will rule many nations, but they will not rule over you.
You will rule many nations. Why? Because he gave you the law, statute, commandments. He gave you the instructions. These are the instructions on how to operate to run the earth. These are the instructions. If you go by the instructions, you stick to the book, you stick to the guidelines, I'm going to keep you in power.
Then it said they should not rule over you, showing you that we ain't meant to be ruled over, man. That's why even you go into, because now, because we're more beaten down than we ever been. This captivity beat us down and beat the ruler class mentality out of Jake. But that's why when you go back to like what they call the Roman Jewish wars, all right? Because even with the Zealots, they were like, look, man, nobody supposed to rule over us. That was they, fuck these Romans. Most High, they were carnal and they was out the spirit. But that's the mindset that like, nigga, ain't nobody supposed to rule over us. That's why even during the Maccabees, it got to the point to like, man, yeah. Nah, nigga, we finna fight. Y'all niggas ain't finna keep bringing that bullshit in. So it's in Jake's spirit not to be ruled over. That's why Esau feared. That's why you had the COINTELPRO. That's why Esau, FBI, CIA, they paid close attention, to how Jake was moving. That's why they pumped all these chemicals. If y'all ever watched that movie, MK Ultra, it's based I think it's a prison up there in the Delta. But the CIA agent, they was experimenting with Jake with LSD. I don't know if y'all remember that drug LSD. So they was experimenting with Jake for mind manipulation. But the CIA agent pulled up to like this ghetto in the Delta, and they had dope boys and hoes and shit out there. And then he said, "This is the biggest threat to national security." He was talking about Jake. You know what I mean? This CIA agent, he said, "This is the biggest threat to national security." You see? So going back to the point, as a people, that's why Rome paid the high priest so much to keep these niggas in check. Look, that's why Kai feels like we gotta do something about Yahushua. Cause he roused them up. You know, like now we gotta do something because they know once Jake gets started, it's hard to deal with Jake. You know? So but Jake in their spirit know like, man, we ain't supposed to be being ruled over. But going back to our disobedience, the Lord took that spirit out of us, you know, so we can serve this captivity. But that's just Jake's spirit. Like you go through the history, the heathens always had a problem with Jake, trying to keep Jake contained. They always had a problem, man. You know, because the Israelite man just weren't going for this shit.
Nat Turner, what's Nat Turner? Birth of the Nation.
Yeah.
He talking about like they read. He did something counter that.
It's another for freedom.
It's another. You know what I'm saying?
Every scripture they say you're supposed to be obedient.
Yeah.
It's another scripture say vengeance.
Yeah. But like he knew that shit that preaching was right. He knew it, man.
Matter of fact, we did it for his brother. You can go be slave Bible. Slave Bible. The purpose of the slave Bible. Probably go to the chat. You can chat, guy. Chat give you everything. Well, you got body.
That's why Jake. That's why Jake don't all fit into the world. The world try to fit with Jake. You know, you can just all you gotta do is go on YouTube, TikTok. You see all these other nations pretending, you know, moving like Jake, trying to sound like Jake.
Dress like Jake.
Dress like Jake. Jake don't try to fit in. The world try to fit with Jake.
Look, I know this is crazy though. This girl asked a little white kid. She said, "What you are?" You know what he said? He said, "He's a YC."
Oh yeah.
I'm a young cracker, bro. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's crazy though.
Yeah.
That's crazy here, cause you know you got these guys out here, but them white boys. I'm a young cracker. I mean, they would be like Jake so bad.
Jake and they low, because the YN is Jake, they most degenerate state that we ever been in.
Yeah.
But the world look up to YN.
Yeah. He been young boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy that I'm young C. I'm a young cracker. But you right on there, man. Go ahead, bro.
That's why you shouldn't feel any shame about being steadfast about what you believe.
You shouldn't be ashamed of your superiority.
God, you know, you shouldn't be ashamed about how you want to keep a clean diet, how you want to keep a clean life. You know that's this world trying to put you in the box because they don't want to have to conform to what you got going on. You know.
I want to say this too, and don't be ashamed you dark skinned either, man, because they put that you too dark. Don't be ashamed of that, bro. Oh, they too dark. But guess what? They don't know Lord was a dark skinned either. They don't know that, but guess what he is. So don't be ashamed of that either, though. You know, cause we all look down on. Oh, they gonna do this. We gonna do that. They the problem. Man, come on. I'm not saying I'm not against dark skin or light skin, bro. I'm just saying, but don't be because they look down on darker guys, man.
They said that, but then they want to buy the milk and not your skin.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
You know, so that's why you don't like that when in Rome do as a Roman, but you don't, and they be trying to like you're offending them. You're offending them. We're offending them by being us, no matter what you do. You know, especially when you try to be towards you. How about Shimmy outside? You know, when you trying to be towards you, how about Shimmy outside? You know, you telling people, yeah, we the people, and they hate that. They hate that. You know, because you don't need.
I'm gonna say if you identifying as the people, then what that put them at?
Mm.
You know, they gotta reconsider. You know, like damn, if they somebody they the people, damn, who are we then?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then they're telling us that we the heathen, and you know, even Esau. But going back into your point where you was just saying that can't be ashamed, like you cannot be ashamed of being more superior or thinking like you're more superior than these people, because even the Lord told you that you're above all people from the face of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so and if you're ashamed, it's like you're ashamed. See, hey, going right back into how these people beneath us, you're looking at your future cattle, man. You know, you looking at your future slaves, man. You can't worry about what the hell they got, what their opinions are. You know, at the end of the day, hey, they going to captivity. At the end of the day, but
this is a sin. It's a sin. It's like the prey trying to shame the predator. You know, you shouldn't be eating meat.
being the prey,
You know,
the predators.
because they can live. That's why. So they can live. So what the wicked can do wickedly. You shouldn't be righteous. You know, why they don't want you to be righteous? Why Israel want to? Why 2/3 of our people want us off the block? Because they can do what they want. You know, because they can do what they want. No. We the upper echelon. You know. We're the superior people.
Like, what's man said on Brightburn? But they both said, I'm superior.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he said it, I'm superior to y'all.
He embraced that shit.
Yeah.
Brightburn is the best superhero movie out.
That's a good right there, bro.
Brightburn. Yeah,
Hey, bro, he said I'm
he
superior.
embraced that shit.
Yeah.
He said, I'm glad I'm not like y'all. He told him what it's supposed to be auntie, you know.
Oh, yeah,
mama.
Yeah,
He told me he's superior to us. I'm superior.
You gotta get that wrong with us, bro.
Hey,
Then we'll
three
get
in the
that.
streets. I got you.
Get straight to the point. Get three and four.
Okay, come. I'm reading NLT for you, bro. This is Romans 9:3-4 in the NLT. It says, "For my people," and it says Jews, but we know it's only true Jews are the Israelites.
Yeah, read it.
KJV. It says, "For I wish that myself were accursed from a Mashiach for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh,
Yep.
who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of the Most High, and the promises."
And look. See, we're supposed to be the lawgivers, the enforcers. You know. Can you read that latter part again?
It says, who are the Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants.
The covenant. What's the covenant? These promises. They lost that.
That contract.
The contract.
Pretty much when you think about the covenant, it was the Lord subcontracting rulership out to Israel. Mm-hmm. I'm subcontracting our rulership for y'all, and this is the contract.
The Lord's earth.
Yeah, this is what I want enforced in the earth. And as long as y'all be obedient to me, y'all gonna have me to oversee y'all, be y'all protector and provide for y'all. Because when you subcontract something out, well, as you give out that contract, then you got to set that subcontractor up to win. You got to give him everything he needs to do the job. So the Heavenly Father gave us, he made us for rulership. You built to rule the earth. That's what's been stripped away from us in this captivity. I say that ruling class mentality. But Jake got the natural attributes to rule the earth. Because the Most High made Jake like that, and he gave Jake a contract. So Yahweh Shai, what he did, he came and established a new contract, which we're going to enter into when we're delivered. You see? And it's the same contract for the same people to rule the earth. So the covenants, that's why I say covenants with an S. The first contract was to Israel. We broke that. But the grace of Yahweh Shai is going to establish another covenant in which we're going to rule forever. Because we're going to be changed. That's why, see, we didn't have we had these fleshly bodies that was subject to sin. So we could fulfill that first contract. So now we're going to be changed. That's why we're going to be what? Gods. Okay? Because see, we done got the experience of good and evil. You see? Going back to the garden. And why did we get the experience of good and evil? So we can be balanced rulers. Because now we understand every situation somebody can be in. Because we're going to rule over the heathen forever. So now we're going to be in every position that the heathen can possibly be in. So we know when you're bullshitting. We know when to have mercy on you. We know when to drop that hammer on your ass because you're playing. And we know when to have mercy on you because we done been there before.
Yeah.
So under this new contract, all right, we are the most fit and qualified for the job. You know, and we get that word adoption too for the brother.
Before you get there, I want to make a quick point.
Yeah, make it point.
I want to make a quick point. Now, for you, I know, because I heard someone ask this personally. They think that having a law, statute, commandments installed into us is like being brainwashed. You know, being brainwashed. No, listen. What is your first? The law, statute, commandments being installed into you? That's going into your natural what's that word I'm looking for? Your natural reaction. You know, the law, statute, commandments will be your natural reaction. You're already so-called programmed by sin. Because what you do when you're a little kid? If you want something, you'll steal it. You'll lie. You know, you see someone, woman, you might want to, do something with her, and that's sin. But look, see, that's your nature. That's your nature. But what? The law, statute, commandments being programmed in you is a change of nature. It's a change of nature. It's not all being brainwashed. But even though you want to be brainwashed, this is done.
If I could add, see, Esau demonized the word brainwashing, but really it's gonna be a righteous brainwashing.
Yeah, you made
it ain't gonna be the consent where we're gonna be moving like we say, we ain't gonna be moving like robots. You know what I'm saying? No. We just gonna be. Like I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, we just gonna be. You're not gonna have to. Okay, what I do in this situation? You don't know what to do.
You don't know.
Yeah. Soon, because you gonna be going back to being the judges. It's gonna be cases being brought to us. Certain cases gonna be being brought to us because you're gonna have judges set up on every level. Just in Esau kingdom, you got what? The city judge, state judges. Then you got federal judges, and you got the Supreme. So you gonna have brothers at every level, and they gonna be dealing with cases, just like Moses. What was he doing? He was just sitting there judging the people. So we're gonna have that in complete righteousness.
I got something for you. This is the term brainwashed on Google. It says, let me get straight to the point. It said the term brainwashing, which uses terms like renewal of the mind or transformation to describe the process of changes one's thinking to align with the Most High's will. Unlike the negative connotation of the modern word brainwashing, the biblical concept is a voluntary supernatural transformation through the Ruach HaKodesh or the Holy Spirit, not forced control. The biblical process involves actively rejecting the worldly ways of thinking and allowing the Most High to change your thoughts, leading to a new way of understanding and a perfect and pleasing will.
We're not gonna be subjected to sin, nor the influences of the world or the wicked or the evil.
Because like you said, and like I said, it can be a good way, man. It's a good way. Hey, we tried it out our way, it didn't work. It's terrible. When we tried it our way, we tried it our way. That's why we here now.
Make you want to cry, guys.
Yeah. You look what people going through. We just tried it our way, and guess what? It didn't work. So now the Lord gonna do it His way, and everybody gonna be good. You can be thinking about no matter woman, it's gonna be good, man. All right.
This is the word adoption in the blue letter.
Strong's G 5206. We are the seer.
Since we are the seer, and this is outline of biblical usage. 1b, it says the nature and condition of the true disciples in Hamashiach, who by receiving the Spirit of the Most High into their souls, because becoming sons of the Most High.
Second. You on the first one? 8 there.
Okay, 8. Okay, because this is 1:8. It says the relationship with the Most High was pleased to establish between himself and the Israelites in preference to all other nations.
Because look, once we broke the law, we was put away. We became bastards. And you know, a bastard is what? A bastard is not entitled to what? Inheritance. But what? He adopted us back. So what? We get the inheritance.
Even in Rome, but that's the book of Romans, that's the Greek. But even that custom of adoption went back to Rome because in that time, because like even when you go to Julius Caesar, the reason why Augustus became a Caesar, because see Julius Caesar, because Julian was his clan, Caesar was his family name. So when you got that term Caesar, they come from Julius Caesar. But the reason why Augustus was able to be called a Caesar because Julius adopted him, so he can inherit everything when he died. You see, that was a custom, because you even had, you go through the different adoptions of the Roman Caesars. You have people in Rome, being of nobility, they might have no sons, or they would take a liking to someone that they wanted to be a part of their heritage, and they would adopt them. They would what you call it, they would make it official. So they would do an adoption, and then they would be able to have their inheritance. They would have to be recognized by the government of Rome to be an heir to the person that adopted them. You know, so that's why I say, that's why Apostle Paul, he writes to the Romans.
Okay.
That's why he telling them the adoption, because that was part of Roman culture.
Okay. We have some scripture, our law that talks about if we have a son that's that's just trash, rebellious,
servant should have rule over
come.
A wise servant.
A wise servant.
Matter of fact, type in wise servant, she'll pop up in Proverbs for the brother. Just for you, we're gonna get it for you. I got a quick one too. Yeah, you get that for me. I'm gonna get this real quick, then you get that. This Psalms 122:5. For there are set thrones of judgment, the thrones of the house of David.
Set thrones. Set thrones. These are for a certain people, a certain family. The house of David. Where that house come from?
Yeah.
Where that house come from? You know.
You got it, bro. This is Proverbs 17:2. A wise servant shall rule over his son that causes shame, and shall have part of the inheritance among the brethren.
Now, if I can add, we like those wise servants now. And guess who the son is causing shame? Esau. You see? Esau, that son that's causing shame in the earth. And we're servants in this kingdom, but we're becoming wise through the scriptures. So the Lord finna get an inheritance from this son of shame, Esau, or the scriptures call him what, the son of perdition, and give it to what? Those wise servants.
Kingdom is translated from one people to
Yeah.
another.
Look, yeah. I'm gonna say, because during this time we're coming in, Jacob's trouble, you gonna see Esau acting real foolish. But you gonna see the hopeful elect making wise decisions. You know, you gonna see the elect out of the elect, because Israel is the elect, but you have the elect out of the elect making wiser decisions. You know, because you're gonna have them, they gonna cleave to Esau, you know, and they're gonna what? They're gonna get departed.
And we wise now. The fact that we out here, we serving the Lord, we being obedient. You know, the way that we act in our day to day, we're being obedient to the Father. While Esau, this nigga trying to 3D print meat, You know, this nigga trying to go to war with every goddamn body. You know, trying to figure out what type of poison he can put in the food. The nigga poison the air. You know, so while Esau wilding out in the earth, you know, we're doing exactly what the scriptures tell us to do. Love the Lord with all thy heart, mind, and soul. Love thy neighbors thyself. Go out to the highways and byways. What you are always going to the poor and feed my sheep. How I kept telling people to feed my sheep. Yeah, so we're obeying our Father, and that's pleasing unto Him. And Esau, he's on the goddamn terror. So that's why Yahweh Shai, he's going to come in and set everything right. He's like, nigga, you out of power. Y'all come up. You know? So this is what we're going through. We're going through a transition. You know?
Jacob rode Esau's heel.
Why? Because this man is destroying the earth. He's not fit to be a ruler. I got a scripture I want brother give me. Can you give me Second Ezra chapter 7, verse 50? 7 and 50. You know, because what? That's why this man's about to get destroyed, because he's destroying the earth. He's mismatched the earth. Like the brother said, that man trying to 3D print meat. This man knocking off animals. Why? So he can do his thing. Poison the water, constantly drilling into the earth without giving it rest. You know? Yeah.
This is 2 Ezra chapter 7 and verse 50. It says, and that there is promised us an everlasting hope, whereas ourselves, being most wicked, are made vain.
What it say?
It says, the world was made for Israel's sake.
6. It started 54.
I got him already.
Yeah, because hey, we gonna rule, Lord, hey, and that's how it gonna be, and that's how the Lord set it up. So you can't get mad. All right, get mad. He them ruling. He them ruling right now, and he doing a horrible job. Like, how you like, what in the fuck what make you try to print some meat? That's what I don't fucking get though.
But then it's hard, like, nigga, the thing is, if you go back to the beginning, the Alahayim made everything good. It was perfect. Because you go to Tawab, which is good in the Hebrew, it says agreeable, pleasurable to the senses, for the sensation of men, for the enjoyment of men. Everything is good. All it had to be was managed.
That's it.
You see?
Or management.
Yeah, all you had to do was manage what was already here.
Look at this man keep everything he built. He purposely make it to break down.
Yep.
When everything that was already was made to what? Continue.
Yep.
Refresh.
Plain obsolete. It's like, why you got a 3D print meat? The meat already reproduces itself. Then the animals, they even get that little pleasure.
Yeah.
Like, he even like, what you got? You sell bull sperm, and like, no, that sperm for that bull, the bull got the little enjoyment too. The bull got the setup. That's why the bull, a bull is ready to breed in 10 months. You buy a bull from birth to 10 months, he ready to breed. That's what he built to do. The lion, it breeds 50 times a day. You know, the earth, going back into it, everything already has a natural intelligence. You don't have to, even this AI bullshit, that shit really capped. All right, that nigga be magnifying that shit capped. Because if people stop feeding into this shit, AI will fade out. If people stop feeding into this shit, AI wouldn't be able to learn nothing.
The artificial intelligence, it means just listen to the words. It can't think for itself.
Nah. And it can only draw answers from what's been put into it.
Mm-hmm.
You see? You can't have no, like, motherfucker got AI companions. Why do you need AI companions when you got all these people on Earth? AI girlfriend. All the goddamn women on earth, you talking about AI girlfriend.
It's a lot of them.
Yeah. This is the earth, a synthetic earth. The Lord didn't make the earth to be remixed. He created to be managed.
Yep.
And everything is already here that we need to manage the earth and to enjoy the earth. Everybody's supposed to have abundance. All right, it's supposed to be no scarcity, food stamps. You were never supposed to, your government ain't supposed to feed you. Okay? Your government manage the earth properly. The earth gonna give forth abundance and y'all gonna be good. The earth ain't supposed to be giving you, the government wasn't meant to give you no goddamn food voucher. Okay? No goddamn homie voucher. No. People are supposed to have skills. If you got skills, people can manage themselves. Only time something will get up to the point where a judge will have to interfere is when you will have disputes about certain things. Then you will have a judge that solve the matter in righteousness. But micromanaging people, because a food voucher, you telling me that I can only have $800 of food a month. That's doing too much. However much your garden or how much your livestock, that's on you. Even the scripture tell you once you pay your tithes, you can do what you want. Yeah. Once you pay your tithes, I don't need to know your income. Just pay your 10%, and then I don't need to do no audit on you and see. That's wicked. That's what they call government overreach. That's doing too much. I don't need to be trying to get your woman to think a certain way. The feminist movement. You see, that's wicked. You see, however you manage your woman, like we had a conversation earlier, like the way of a man and his woman, that's on him. Nobody needs to be trying to middle, even the state getting involved in your marriage. Think about it. A government is telling you, look, you pay this much for your son or your daughter a month. Split custody. What do you mean? Joint custody.
Mainly give
it to the woman, which is wicked, because really in the scripture that's the son possession. Because even with Abigail, when she left to go with King David, she didn't take none of Nabal's children with her. She took her and her handmaids and they went with David. Because that's his inheritance. He died, so his eldest son inherited his estates, and all the other sons stayed with them. Because that's their inheritance. Okay? But you can go on for days about how off this shit is, man. So lucky. I know I'm all in the video.
I got that word artificial for you.
Let's say you're captain. What about you, producer, all in the video?
I got that word artificial for you because you said cap. This is artificial in the Google. It says made or produced by human beings rather than occurring naturally, especially as a copy of something natural, controversial as opposed to natural. It says contrived or false.
It's
false.
It's an oxymoron. How can you have artificial intelligence? Then it's not intelligent. You know? Because intelligence comes directly from Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah to men. That's why you're able to have an idea. You know? No one like brothers is getting all type of ideas as we're speaking. Nobody can duplicate them. They can't be duplicated. Esau, it's a magic trick. AI is a big magic trick. Esau can do some shit and he can pull certain shit off, but a lot of times that nigga be capping. That nigga the number one stomach. For real. You know, you got it, bro.
AI is basically just a digital parrot.
Yeah.
You know? It's just being taught what to say. You know, it's not really thinking.
No.
You know?
No, it ain't reasoning.
It's done.
Like you type something in and you think like this nigga thinking. But then it's a goddamn database as big as the city. You type one answer, then that goddamn database get to turn in all this shit and give you this one answer. But then you just look at it, I'm typing in a little device and the answer magic. No, because even like with magicians, you don't see the sleight of hand. See, when people go to chat, they don't see this big ass database that's taking up all the water, killing the birds, destroying the earth, just to show you how to cook a flatbread pizza. You know, you can ask the nigga the ingredients of a flatbread pizza. 10 birds die. 10 birds die, but you got,
Everything. I ain't know that. Yeah, look, damn, this thing, they treat this thing like a god. They making sacrifices each time.
The cloud ain't even in the cloud. It's a big ass database. They say the cloud, they trying to imitate the Most High like it's coming.
Yeah.
The cloud is a big ass database, man. And then the computers gotta be cool, so they require so many tons and millions of tons of water just to keep them computers cool, because they doing all that computing and shit. Yeah.
This is Proverbs chapter 2, verse 6. For the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai giveth wisdom. Out of their mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. He led up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly.
Yeah, so all wisdom comes directly from Yahweh Shema Shai. Real quick, we did in Sirach 17, 4 and 5. One precept. Yeah, man, because like I said, Esau, he's a big magician, man. Like Esau think he owns something because he can make his idol talk and move. But guess what? It's still lifeless. Okay? If Esau want to show us something, tell that nigga to remove all the data from AI, and then let's start asking this motherfucker questions. Remove all the input that AI has got from humans, and then ask AI questions. See what that motherfucker give you. Nothing. Yeah. You gonna get that pending, goddamn. You got it, bro.
Still searching.
Sirach 17 and I think like 4 and 5. Yep.
This is Sirach chapter 17, verse 4. It says, and put fear of men upon all flesh, and give him dominion over beasts and fowls.
Yep.
Verse 5.
So how do the animals know to obey you? How did Noah get all them animals into the ark? Because the Lord put the spirit of fear on those animals. See? So everything comes from Yahweh Shema Shai. Order, wisdom. You see? Go ahead.
Verse 5. They received the use of the 5 operations of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai.
They received the use of the 5 operations. Okay? These are senses, and Esau, the AI don't got this. Okay? AI don't have no experience. Okay? When you go through a situation, you have, even when you talk about things, you start feeling certain type of way when you talk. AI don't got that. Like, you can start talking about something in your childhood, but AI don't got that. You got it, bro.
It says, and the 6th place he imparted them understanding.
The 6th place he imparted them understanding. Okay? To be able to comprehend. And see, this is what humans have over animals. The high comprehension. Okay, go ahead.
It says, and in the 7th, speech and interpreter of the cognitions.
Yeah, cognition thereof.
I can get it out.
Yeah, cognition. Okay. So that's going into being able to understand spiritual things, revelations. The reason why you can listen to a video and the brother breaking something down and it click for you, that comes from on high. Okay? The reason why brothers be coming up with the same precept because it's coming from the same source. This is why brothers be having the same precept. We want to make the same points because it's all coming from the same source. Okay, AI don't do that. It can't do that. I don't give a damn if it's AGI, artificial general intelligence, artificial super intelligence. No matter what this nigga come up with, okay, it's lifeless without human input into it.
I mean, yeah, even AI can't even direct your damn steps because that's up to the Lord. So AI can't direct experience. You know what I'm saying? He can't really give you experience.
Nah, because AI don't got no experience.
Right.
It just got all our experience on it.
Right.
That's why ChatGPT can go into the scriptures because he done had 40 years of getting input from the prophets. So that's why you like, damn, Chat, but he just putting everything together. The Chat can put, he got all the data. Because remember, how potent would you be if you could memorize every lesson that ever came out?
God. He said right now.
If you can remember every lesson that ever came out.
Man.
But see, that's what that big ass database for. It just got all that data sitting there. And Esau is trained to where it can, based on the words you put in, it pull out data that's been put into it. Okay, that's why it's able to do certain tasks and shit. People, it's just been learning what people been doing. That's why it's able to do accounting. It's able to do your inventory. Because guess what? How long have people been manually inputting their inventory into computers and accounts into computers? Okay. Yeah, bro.
They're going into the databases to bang up on how they use so much energy. I'm gonna get straight to the point. It says AI is it supporting data centers consume significant and rapidly growing amounts of water and energy. The exact amounts vary depending on location. We'll scroll down as they get to the point of energy, and then we'll read the water. It says the overall growth. It says global electricity used in data centers are expected to double by 2030. It says right now they use 945 terawatt of hours, which basically is enough to power 28 million homes. As far as water, it says
you said it's gonna double. Yeah. So what's that? 56, and let's say that's let's say just average 3 people per house. You know, so you get close to like 170 million people, give or take. Just, you know. And then it's only 326 people in America. That's why they want to do so much depopulation too, because they want to make room. Because it's a waiting list for them data centers. It's companies that can't get data centers because it's a waiting list, and that's another reason why they want to depopulate so they can get these data centers going, man.
And bro, check this out. If you think about it, this nigga has mismanaged the earth so much he's trying to create something to manage for him.
Yeah.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
It's the water. It says the water is essential for cooling the servers.
Yeah.
Like you said, it says it has grown significantly 34 to 22% between the years of 2021 and 2022. Right now is at 6.6 billion cubic meters of water annually, and I type that number in, that goes to 1.74 trillion gallons of water every year.
Goddamn computer.
1.74 trillion gallons of water.
And see, that's why even when you go to the ancient civilizations, even when you go to like the Mayans and the Aztecs, their engineering was on another level. You know, they didn't need all this shit. You know, I've been watching a series Shogun. You know, and them Europeans come over there calling them folk barbarians. Them folk had plenty of order.
Yeah.
They had lordships, they had inheritance, they had cities, they had what they call fiefs. I know you So I know you talking on that. Yeah. But like I say, going into it, man, the earth ran fine without this nigga power, man. And that's another thing, that's another trick. Like, he pushed it like everybody was just barbaric before the Europeans colonized everything. Everybody is just these barbarians. That's why he justified his robbery. You know, the sword, great. He's like, we come to civilize you. But wait a minute, these you still got architecture that you can't mimic. You can't redo the pyramids. You can't redo the Moorish architecture over there in Granada. Okay, you can't explain how the Moors had street lights in the 1400s. You can't duplicate that. You know, you got bro.
Each time that you came into someone else, it's documented that you was riddled with bugs, that you didn't like to bathe, that you was one of the most weirdest people they came in contact with.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. Because I'm watching Shogun. So you know that first the Portuguese, the British nigga, the one that came and told on the Portuguese priests and shit.
Yeah.
So you remember when old girl was trying to get him a bath, and he was like, "I had a bath." She said that was last week. He said, "Damn, you want me to take 2 baths in a week?" He said, "This dirty motherfucker." But Esau said, "Yeah, you want me to take 2 baths in a week?" You know. Just to show you, man, that Esau was a what's that, Job 30? Get that Job 30 and 1 for the brother. Hey,
Hey, they saying like when they brought their ass over here, when they came over here, Gad to take care of them. Now, you know they wasn't bathed today.
yeah.
So
Teeth yellow, nigga come off the boat, teeth yellow. You know,
black guy.
that nigga had number cannons.
Yeah.
They got that shit number. That nigga had number that sword. You know, you got it, bro.
It's Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord Yahweh my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whether ye go to possess it.
Because it's the law to symbolize the land. You know, they're going to run a lesson. You see, we were going back to your point. The Lord gave what he said when you go into the land to possess it. So the law was meant to govern, okay, a sovereign people. And that sovereign people was supposed to govern the rest of the earth. It's going to get into it. You got it, though, bro.
Gun. And like, you said something earlier, going back to the garden, there's 3 classifications of people: the sons of God, the sons of men, and the sons of the wicked. You know, and what? The sons of God are what? The firstborn. They're the firstborn. And what? The firstborn is what? It's the inheritance. Inheritor. Now, I got something for y'all.
I got some people who put in firstborn real quick. Look at the Exodus 4 and 22. Exodus 4:22, it says, "And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn."
Exactly. And this is, please, one more time.
Okay. It's back in Exodus chapter 4, verse 22. "And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord,"
Thus said the Lord, thus said Yahweh, the power, the creator,
"Israel is my son, even my firstborn."
my firstborn, the inheritance. He's inheritor of the creator. So what? He's inheriting creation. You know? You are the lords of the earth. You know? So stop trying to fit in with the children of men, with the children of the wicked. You know? You're above that. You know? You're not supposed to be playing the same sandbox with these people. You know? That's what Jake. Jake was a praying man. He was studying. He was of the mind of the spirit.
They say he was dwelling in the tent. Because Jacob was really the administrator of Isaac estates. You know? Like it was Jake, he was really, you know, facilitating everything. You know, keeping the estate going. Like Esau was a man of the field, so he was out hunting and shit. But then it showed you that Jake is still superior because Esau going out to hunt, but shit, when he come back, Jacob already had food cooking. So Jacob can just, and this, see, Jacob just got that natural ability. Like Jacob ain't gotta go hunt everything, but still Jacob just go out there, get some shit, come back. Yeah, Esau out there all day. Yeah. You see? You got it, bro.
I can get this. I can get it for you right now. All right, get 2 Ezra, chapter 6, Start at verse 57 and read down. Mhm.
57.
Read down to that. It's just 3 verses.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6, starting at verse 57. It says, and now, O Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, behold, these heathen which have ever been reputed as nothing, have reputed
Their reputation is nothing. Go ahead.
God. It says, and now, O Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, behold, these heathens which have been reputed as nothing,
nada, spit, spibble. You know, it's a proverb these people use. I know in Japan, they use you looked at me like a pebble on the wayside, like nothing. No, you ain't noticed. When you walking, you ain't focused on no pebble. You trying to get where you going.
It says have begun to be lords over us and to devour us.
These nothing ass people are above us. They're useless. I mean, look at the kingdom now. I mean, look at the earth now. Excuse me. Look at this earth now. It's in ruin. It's in ruin because these people are not meant to be in power.
Verse 58. But we thy people whom thou hast called thy firstborn,
We thy people who are called thy firstborn, the inheritors,
thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, and are given unto their hands.
come.
If the world now may be for our sakes, why do we not possess any inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure?
How long shall this endure? See how shall come the what's it called? The measurement of the heathen need to be filled. I think I quoted that wrong. The measurement of the heathen.
Oh, yeah, get Luke 21, 24. You can go back to the drum, but get that Luke 21, 24 going read.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 24. Yahweh Shai speaking. It says, "They shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled."
Look, Yahweh Shema Shai is giving everyone a fair shake on rulership. Everybody had their chance in rulership, you know. So it's going to become a witness, an example of for them how they're not fit for it, you know. Each one, look what y'all did here, look what y'all did there, and let me set my people in power. And look what happened. We just gotta recall Solomon, you know.
This is Deuteronomy 28, and I'm gonna start at 9 and I'm just go to 10. It's in Yahweh Bashar Shai. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 9. And Yahweh Bashar Shai shall establish thee and hold a people unto himself as he has sworn to thee. And thou should keep the commandments of Yahweh Bashar Shai thy power and walk in his ways. Verse 10. And all the people of the earth shall see that thou art by the name of Yahweh Bashar Shai, and they shall be afraid of thee. So they gonna be afraid. Especially when Lord bring us back into power, man. Everybody gonna bow down. And you know, I think about we just talking about Esau had 60 to 70, whatever long there, you know. We couldn't use no water fountain. We couldn't sit on the bus, you know, but they had that dominion, like they had that power. Niggas in the back, niggas riding the bus in the back. Guess what? That's how it gonna be. But the road's gonna flip. The road's gonna turn back like it's supposed to be, though. Yeah.
But see, when Jake was by themselves, Jake thrived by themselves.
Yep.
That's when Jake was coming up. You know, this is why you had Black Wall Street.
Yep.
Rosewood, Florida, Durham, North Carolina. You had all them thriving black community, so-called black community, Jake community, because Jake don't need nobody else. See, the heathen need Jake. Jake good by themselves. That's why even the Moors Moors was nothing but they was mercenaries for Ishmael. See, during the Umayyad Caliphate, the Ishmaelites, and they took down Spain and Portugal. Okay, what they called the Iberian Peninsula. They left Jake as a garrison there. And what did Jake do? They turned it to an empire. That's why you had the Moorish Empire. But they were just hired swords from Ishmael. Okay? But that's why there was Islam. So Ishmael left them in the Iberian Peninsula, which is Portugal and Spain. And what did you have? You had a 700-year empire that Jake started over there, man. Okay? All the when you go into Europe, even Esau, he speak about how the Europeans colonized the earth and civilized everybody. Jake set up Europe. Those monarchs, those thrones, those dynasties of Europe, the Prince Charles, the original Prince Charles and Henry, okay, Philip, even Charlemagne. They talk about Charlemagne, which he was Jake. All these are Jake. You see? The Tsar, Ivan the Terrible, because Tsar is just the Russian way of saying Caesar. Because you even had the Tsars, they was married into the Byzantine Empire, which was Jake. Okay? So you had Jake, had 1,000-year empire. The Byzantine Empire was 1,000 years. Okay? You had the Moors, they ran for like 700 years. Okay? So going back to the point, Jake don't need the heathen to set up an empire, but all you heathens need Jake to keep an empire going. Mm-hmm. Okay, because even when you read the Bible, who did these heathen kings have in their courts? Jake. Mm-hmm. Jake didn't need no heathens in their court, but you heathens always, even going back to Egypt, who did Pharaoh have? Joseph. Okay. Go back to Babylon. He had Daniel. Yeah. Even when you go into the Assyrians, they had Tobit. Mm-hmm. He was in the courts of the Syrian kings. And then his nephew was in the courts. Okay. Then you go into the Medo-Persian Empire. Because Daniel, he was in the king of the courts all the way from Nebuchadnezzar to Cyrus the Great. He was a hand. He was in the king's courts from the whole time of the Babylonian Empire all the way into the Persian Empire. You know, he had like a 70-year run. You see? There you go. You see? So these heathens always had to deal with Jake. Even in this empire, it was Jake that set up the American Constitution and shit. You know?
What about in the ocean? When he
He's going to go back. Yeah. What you saying, bro?
You know, doing in the ocean. Then Jake in there too. Then in the ocean, Maccabees.
Oh yeah, well he had them wicked niggas, Jason them. You know, but yeah, man, just proving the point. We a standalone nation. We do good in isolation. You see?
But they won't leave us alone.
Yeah, they won't let us.
They won't let us be.
Yeah, all the 10 tribes from Canada to South America, that whole land mass was full of little but Jake. Yeah. You know, from Canada, there's a lot of land from Canada to the bottom of South America. Yeah, you had all them different empires. Yeah, they said the Inca Empire was the size of the Medo-Persian Empire. You know? So when you go to it, Jake be good by that stuff. Mm-hmm. We do good in isolation because how the Lord made us, we're the sons of God, man. We natural creators, we're natural administrators, we're natural engineers. You know, you got it, bro.
If you go on these social media apps, you see Ammon, Moab, Edomites, mimicking Jake. You know, mimicking Jake. That because look, you're supposed to be the what? The head. That's why you don't fit in because you're meant to lead. You know, you're meant to lead even when you're at the bottom. Guess what? You're still leading, even though it being wickedness. You know, you're still leading. You know? You know? So how much more when we're in righteousness? You know? How much more when you're in righteousness? Why? Because you're the lords of the earth.
Think about sports. Everybody want to be LeBron, Michael Jordan, or whoever, but or Jacobs. You know, that's what they want to be. Like soccer, Messi. Everybody love Messi. Everybody love Cristiano Ronaldo. That's what I'm saying.
You know?
You got it, bro.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5. It says, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord Yahweh my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whether ye go to possess it. Verse 6, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Because you have the instructions of life given to you by the Creator. That's beautiful because you operate in this you operate in the instructions of Yahweh Shema Shai. People gonna look at you with fascination, with marvel, be like, man, life has never been better. You know, that's why even the animals wait for your appearance. Roughly paraphrasing. You know, the fur tree gonna be happy that this nigga gonna be out. Creation gonna be happy that this nigga out of power. You know?
Creation crying out.
Yeah, that's some basically going to the salt of the earth. ChatGPT, I told ChatGPT, I said, you are the salt of the earth. I told him to basically break that down. It says, salt gives flavor. Israel gives the earth its flavor. It says, likewise, Israel is what gives the entire earth its flavor, going into its style, rhythm, music, inventions, prophecy, leadership, morals.
Woo! Look, when you hear that and think about that, who you think of?
ChatGPT.
Who you think of? You think of Israelites. Everybody trying to sound like Israel. Everybody trying to dress, float, speak like an Israelite. Not them pretenders over there. You know, gotta be smart.
Who the fuck would dress like them motherfuckers anyway, though?
Them niggas, Esau just ain't got it. You know, you get the least they ain't got it, man. But just seeing these everyday Edomites, they don't got it, man.
They ain't got it.
You know, you people still look at Esau like he's some type of hump. You know, this nigga ain't got it, bro.
What's that rapper Aesop Ferg? He said, he got with them. He said he didn't want to be around. They want to be around him.
Yeah.
You know?
Strong to Jake. But even gonna read that again.
Because it says the salt is what makes, it says food tastes good, basically, but it says likewise, Israel is what gives the entire earth its flavor.
Yep.
Going to its music, the style, the rhythm, inventions, culture, spiritual understanding, prophecy, leadership, morals.
And then it said the inventions. So you gotta understand that the inventions that make everyday life easier come from Jake. And then it came from a mindset of a judge. Because you go into the inventions and then you go into why. Because the traffic light. Well, Jake invented traffic light because there was so many car crashes. So he's trying to figure out, okay, what do I need? Yeah. You go into all these different inventions dealing with Jake, the cotton gin. All these different things was to make life easier. Even his name Frederick McKinley, he the one that made the air conditioner go on the box truck. That's why you can transport fruit from state to state. You see? So when you go into Jake, more than just, a nigga that can dunk a ball, like, nah, they innovated life. They innovated existence. Because even you go to salt, it's flavor, but then what else does salt do?
It cures,
It preserves, exactly. It preserves. So when you really go into the engineers, because what preserve a nation is the engineers. You know what I'm saying? The engineers, the physicians. Go ahead.
Yeah, the second point, it says salt preserves.
Yep.
Israel preserves righteousness in the earth. Woo. It says in ancient times, salt kept food from spoiling. Likewise, Israel preserves righteousness.
Yep.
The law, the prophets, the covenants, the testimony of Yahweh Shai,
Get that word. Get Genesis 2:14.
the proper order of mankind.
The proper order of, oh my goodness, the proper order of mankind. And what Esau got going on? So Tyrone, you gonna speak up because you hate it. The proper order of mankind. This nigga got all confusion going on. He got things out of order. What they used to say them crime shows when they get to the court, you're out of order. You're out of order. This nigga is out of order. but he's in power, so he can just say he can just lie.
Yep. When you got kids, want to be a goddamn he, she, be, we,
Cat dog,
whatever. I mean, that's out of order, bad, man. That don't make no fucking sense. And that shit irks me. Like the brother, that shit just pisses me off, man. I see motherfuckers look like that, it just really pisses me off, man. Because that's Esau doing, man. Oh, because when we little, man, we want to play some fucking toys. We want to do this right outside. That's what we want to do, man. Nah, you can't say you're a boy. Oh, they're like the parents up for the bullshit, man. That's why that shit just got to go, man.
Hey, look, that's them. That's an attack on righteousness, on any kind of order. You know, they want to get rid of what is deemed upright because they're wicked. Again, it's like I said, like I gave the example earlier. It's like the prey telling the predator not to eat. You know,
The earth is customized for wickedness. You know, the earth is customized for wickedness, man. So if the earth customized for wickedness, then the wicked are comfortable. You know? So if you're comfortable here, it's because you're wicked. There's no way you can be comfortable and not vexed in this society unless you're wicked.
Mm-hmm. That's what.
Oh, you got it.
That's why we stand in the spiritual or situation a lot. What just Lot was vexed with the things that was going on around him. You know, he wasn't with it. He lived there, but he wasn't with none of that. You know,
The wicked conversation, they conduct.
mm-hmm.
You know, that's why when every time we dipped out, he ain't look back at
He
this
ain't
shit.
look back.
Yeah,
He gone. It was no attachments. Like when you attach to something, like you
go ahead. We trying to be peaceful.
Hey, this Revelation.
Hey, you make your point while you find
okay.
And this Revelation 11 and 18. And the nation were angry, and the wrath is come, and the time of the dead that should be judged, and thou should give a word to the servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear the name, small and great, and should destroy them, which should destroy the earth. And guess what? Esau, you the motherfucker going around the earth. Like the brother said, you drilling the hell out the oil, getting the oil out of the earth, non-stop. Chemtrails every goddamn where, and following on the fruits, trees. So we eat the shit, we digest the shit, man. I mean, you killing the water fucked up, the damn wells beaching itself. I mean, you just a fucked up individual, to be honest with you, man.
Confusing people,
Yeah.
because if he would have allowed this to keep going,
Yeah.
Esau get his way, the people gonna be gone. And what? The earth need people.
Yeah.
The earth need people.
Yeah.
You know?
For the elect sake, time the Lord shortened the time for the elect sake, and therefore no man will be saved.
He did in Genesis because I just want to touch on the point on how Adam was set up to preserve the earth. You know, so he did real quick.
This is Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. And the Lord Yahweh power formed man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life.
You know, so the Heavenly Father breathed breath into Adam because it was Adam that was chosen to rule the earth. That's the beginning of the sons of God. It was through Adam. Okay? Because you had other people on the earth, but it was this Adam that was chosen to get that breath, which we know who this Adam was. Okay? And when he got the breath, what was he tasked to do? Which is the breath was the wisdom. What we just read in Deuteronomy 4:6. This is our wisdom amongst the nations. Adam had that. Okay, go ahead.
It says, and the man became a living soul.
Go ahead.
Verse 14. Verse 15. And the Lord Yahweh power took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it.
Yep. So get that word keep. So he put him in, okay, what is Israel today? The Garden of Eastern in Eden, those is Israel. You know? Because the earth, all right, was a paradise, man. You know, this was before the flood, so you had that one land mass, and Israel was the center of it, man. Okay, they guard the Eastern Eden. That's why it was always, you know, because the land that was promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, okay, that was the land that Adam was in, man. You know, because if you go into it and break down those rivers, it's that same region. You got that word.
This is that word keep in the blue letter. It says to keep.
What's the word?
Samar.
Shamar.
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 Yeah. No, he can't speak Hebrew. I told him about this. You a Hebrew Israelite or not, man?
Shamar. It says to keep guard, observe, give heed, to keep, have charge of,
To have charge of. Go ahead.
to keep guard, keep watch and ward, protect, save life.
To protect and save life. But going back into what was sought for you, to preserve. So Adam was given what? The order to keep or to shamar. Paradise. You know? To keep and protect life in paradise with what? Wisdom. He was meant to keep and protect paradise and wisdom. To keep guard. You see? So, even from the beginning, it was given unto the sons of God to be the salt of the earth, man. Of course, Jay got that flavor. That's the surface level. But the more serious matter is to preserve. Because if you ain't preserving, you can't. Flavor don't mean nothing. Breakdancing and shit don't mean nothing if you ain't got nothing preserved. If you ain't got no order. You see? So the preservation of life comes before, you know, the flavor. You see, that's what Adam had. He had the Most High gave him charge to keep the shamar. Go ahead.
I want to read verse 15 of GNT because I have recently read Genesis in the GNT. I want to get into that. Man, it's crazy. But look, this is Genesis chapter 2, verse 15. Then Yahweh the power placed the man in the Garden of Eden to cultivate it and guard it.
Yep, to cultivate it and to guard it. Then cultivate because what the scripture says. So to get so rock 10 and 2. We'll start at 1.
You dropped at 47. 47.
Yeah, we'll get back to it. We'll get that 10 and 1. So rock 10 and 1.
This is Rock chapter 10, verse 1. It says, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered.
Yeah, so going back to Adam, Adam was given to what? Cultivate and guard, because he was supposed to cultivate righteousness in the earth.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So a wise, all right, judge would instruct his people. That's why Adam was given the breath to lay down instruction. And that's how Eve do not, all right, to what? Partake in the ways of Eve. You had the sons of men back then. Then you had Esau, the son of the wicked, you know, which was the serpent back then. Okay? So she was given instruction. That's why the serpent came and he broke down, he manipulated the instruction that was given to Eve. Where did she get that instruction from? You got it.
I want to add that, you know, when you go into cultivation, I know they're using the East, like over there in China, in their ancient culture, cultivation was used, the scripture going to talk about it too, but cultivation was used to always enhance, always becoming sharper, wiser, to become a better the better version than the last.
Yep.
And what Adam was what? With the wisdom was to cultivate, not just, people when people think about cultivation, they think about garden stuff. Not just the garden, but the people, the minds, the way of living. To what? To have that always increasing. But under Esau, what? It has decreased. People have become more dumber.
They degenerate.
Mm.
It's going backwards. You see, because you got a degenerate that's in power. Matter of fact, keep reading this right.
Verse 2, it says, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein.
Yeah, so you really look at so when you look at like, cause they got people say they got rap team now.
I heard it.
Yeah, they tired of this shit. But that's Esau nature. Like that rap shit is really his nature. Like that degenerate shit, that music of the day, that's Esau nature. That's why he's able to push so much BS in it, man. Okay? Because that's really his nature. That's why he endorsed this shit so much. Yeah, that dumb down, that kill you for nothing. Yeah, because you going back to like the small hats, they drilling the Palestinians. That's drill. They just got fighter jets. They got just F-35 and shit. But they doing the same. They in the same spirit of drill as niggas in Chicago, or the niggas in Fort Lauderdale.
They ran a drill on Gaddafi.
Yeah, they ran a drill on that nigga. On all them niggas, man.
They got money.
So the spirit, that degenerate spirit, that's in the earth, that's a reflection of the rulership. You see? Because that shit didn't exist during the time of King Saul. Matter of fact, get that Joel 30:1, and then we'll get that in that's Sirach 47, 12. Show you the difference. Because it says what a righteous judge will instruct his people, and the government of a wise man is well ordered. Go ahead. But this is the opposite. Go ahead.
This is Job 30:1. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision.
Yeah, younger, which is Esau, Edom, and that younger goes into insignificant, man. Okay, this nigga is of a lesser value. Go ahead.
And also, he said young because what the firstborn is of the it's supposed to be like the master, the ruler, while the others are supposed to be like servants.
Yeah.
And what's that other scripture say? I seen servants on horses.
Yeah. That's Esau.
Mm-hmm.
But even going to Maya Amshad Bauer, that Bauer goes back to Pisgah. He changed his name to Rothschild, which is red and shield. Esau, go ahead.
Whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs in my flock.
Yeah, so Esau, you wouldn't even trust Esau to be around your animals, man, because he was a lewd nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Bestiality, man. Like, who would think of this shit, man? Who would even think, like, you see a horse and that thought come to your mind? A lamb, and that's what come to your mind. Like, nigga, what are you doing? Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me.
Yeah, and that's why going back to what time? Yeah, get that real quick. Get that in 1 Samuel 15. And this why the Most High told Saul to kill the animals and every goddamn thing. He paid the animal that. For everything defiled. And then he was into that witchcraft and shit then. You got it, bro. Yeah.
This is 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 1. Samuel also said unto Saul, the Lord Yahweh sent me to anoint thee to be king over his people, over Israel.
Yeah.
Now, therefore, hearken thou to the voice of the words of the Lord Yahweh. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him in the way, when he came up from Egypt.
Yeah, see, Amalek, that's that nigga spirit. Just just a nigga, man. Nigga want let us even come by. Okay,
Hell yeah.
King's Highway. Then Moses told him like, look, man, we'll pay you. Look, first off, we ain't gonna touch shit. And even if we do, we're gonna pay you for it. We just need to get by, And this bitch ass nigga went and got his whole military.
Man, like you said, niggas, but now you can't come on my block.
Yeah.
You gotta get off my street.
Nah, nigga, you can't go this way, nigga. That's the spirit he was in. Then when he brought the military out, he went against the children, the women and children, man. So the Lord said he remembered this shit. But see, he saw Ben a nigga, man. And this the nigga behavior we see because when you see a young nigga, it's the serpent and Eve child. This is what Eve and the serpent produces, young niggas. Go ahead.
It says, verse 3, now go and smite Amalek and utterly destroy all that they have and spare them not, but slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass. And Saul gathered the people together and numbered them in.
No, that was important. Because he destroyed. He got command from the Most High to destroy even the animals amongst Amalek. But that nigga was filthy, man. Okay, that's why you go to Job. He said, I wouldn't even put my dogs by them, man. Go ahead.
That's it.
The big one.
I'm gonna say, yeah. If I remember correctly, was Saul gonna try to sacrifice those animals?
Yeah, tripping.
Yeah, most when you offering a sacrifice, what must it be? Clean and unblemished. These niggas didn't freak the animals.
Yeah.
He the most I don't want that. That's the spirit of Cain.
Yeah.
Sacrificing vegetables.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, this verse 2 again. It says, "Yeah, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished. For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in the former time, desolate and wasted."
Yeah, so this is when they were pushed off to the Caucasus Mountains, over there in the region of Georgia, Russia, close to modern day Ukraine. They was pushed off, and that's when Jake had, palaces in England and Europe and Russia. Okay? The Moors, you see? And this nigga was pushed off to the side. Go ahead.
It says, verse 4, "Who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat."
Yeah. So these niggas was out there like animals, man. You see? Nigga was on raw diet. Niggas didn't know how to use forks and that. Like they had to teach the nigga how to use forks, man. Esau had to be reintroduced to society, man. He had to be trained up. And see, Jake always had this sympathy for this nigga. Like even when Jacob came back to Esau, he was still, he sent gifts, But see, that's what made Esau more guilty. Because Jake always tried to show brotherly love. But Esau would be with the bullshit. You see, but Jake had to train, like when they came over here to the Native Americans, it was Jake that had to train them up how to survive and the wisdom of the land so these niggas can survive. And what did this nigga do to him? Okay?
Bro, and that, possible they out like years and years ago. Instead of them getting ready for winter, what they doing? They look for goddamn gold.
Yeah, tripping.
They looking for gold, man. I'm saying they looking for gold. They said trying to get ready.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers said, "Fuck that, we'll die." Them niggas, but Gad and Reuben had to help them, bro. They were finished, bro.
Verse 5 says, "They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them. They cried after them as after a thief."
It's a thief. Get your ass away from here, man. They just get. You see an Edomite, you running nigga off like a stray dog, man.
And this is talking about nations, all nations, not just Israelites.
Yeah, everybody didn't deal with that nigga, man.
What is called? He's called a vagabond. This nigga was a vagabond.
Yeah.
What the hell is that over there? Ah, hey, it's some Edomites.
He ran that nigga off like an animal, man. Go ahead.
to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in caves of the earth, and in the rocks.
And that's what he's turned the earth into. That's how you show this deal. But this ain't nothing but a big ass cave. This mountains and caves, man. Apartments.
Concrete jungle.
Yeah, because you know how the mountains have the holes and caves. That's what an apartment is. It's a cave. It's a mountain, this big ass complex, and you just got all these caves that you live in. That's the apartment. That's not natural. People ain't supposed to be stacked on top of each other like that. You know, go ahead.
It says among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together.
Yeah, them niggas couldn't even talk to their brain. You know? Real caveman shit.
That's what they made a movie of that.
Yeah.
Casino Man. Back in the day, they made a movie of that.
Yeah.
Showed and had him. Well, he might play in that role.
The Lord put this nigga in power, man. The basis of men. Esau not nowhere near what y'all think he is.
That's why they want to put this world in that Neanderthal theories.
Yeah.
Say everything come from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The caveman.
Caveman.
Invented the wheel and this stupid shit.
Yeah, everybody used to talk like this.
So easy a caveman can
And
do
then
it.
they just fire. Woo.
Yeah.
Fuck.
In LT it says they sound like animals howling among the bushes,
Damn.
huddled together beneath the nettles.
Yeah, so them niggas, and see, they going back to that. When they get put back in them pits, when they go into captivity, they just gonna be in the pits. Esau gonna get animal treatment in the kingdom. Esau not gonna be laying on no goddamn bed. You know, yeah. The nigga ain't gonna have no room, light switch, nothing. No, nigga, you going to an actual hole. You gotta climb out that hole every morning, and you gotta climb back in that motherfucker. Yeah.
I want to visit. I want to visit his lava land.
Yeah.
See how he got you.
You know? Yeah. Ain't no hate. That's warm. The animals get hate. You don't even get hate. Yeah. And that ground get cold. Especially when you dig into the ground, it be colder because that should be like the natural refrigerator, right? Going into what they call them, I forgot what they call it, but I know you dig into the ground, they're like a natural refrigerator.
They kept food storage, cold water.
Yeah. So you gonna get down off of you know? Yeah.
It says they were children of fools, children of base men.
Yeah, you come from a line of fools. See, you got a generous seed. You see, Esau, that's why he was rejected. Going back to when Jacob seen that nigga, like, I shot you. Fuck. Nigga had no melon, he didn't look like it. What the fuck? I shot you. Nigga was a defect, man. You know, go ahead.
They were violent in the earth.
They were violent in the earth. Damn. You know, which means they the lowest of the low. Because you can't get no lower than the ground. So this nigga was violent in the earth. This the vilest nigga in it, man.
You know, say base too, man. The
Base.
basement.
Yeah.
With the lowest point of everything too.
That's why everything is at base. That's why you argue about who should go in what bathroom. These are base arguments.
Yeah.
It's 78 genders. Like what?
It's stupid.
Yeah. These are base arguments. What I bring to the table. Like, nigga, what? I ain't going 50-50. These are dumb, base, stupid ass arguments. Because it's a base nigga that's in power. These arguments exist. That's why I say we only want to hear her perception anymore. It ain't nothing. What can she say? Except some dumb shit. Like the latest shit, I want to get rid of black men. Like, okay, like, yeah, I can't. Yeah, I can't. I only. When I see Eve dumb, I don't even. What I know if it be some stupid shit that don't make sense. But she get that from the caveman. That's why Eve moved like a caveman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got the word violent in Itzman. Morally repugnant.
Yep.
Morally flawed, corrupt, wicked, of no value.
Of no value. Why I say positionally no value.
Of inferior quality.
Of inferior quality. And see, this nigga, he's inferior, man. That's why later, man, I feel some type of, you know, Esau, the Edomite man look at you with that condescending like, he making his business not to look at you. You know? And I be, you know, because especially he can tell when Jay got confidence and you get that nigga that look like he ain't one of the goofy niggas. Yeah, so he's like, he make his business that he'll glance. You know, because I sometimes I speak and that nigga don't say nothing. It be that condescending shit. You know? But nigga, you inferior. You know, I'm looking at him. I'm look, cause I was at the park today. I'm just looking at Esau, big child, man. What's that game in the park that he throw in the frisbee? Yeah. Like nigga, they got that shit all over the park. So with this frisbee flying, nigga, some big old 43, 48. You know, nigga got his knees wrapped, throwing the goddamn frisbee, man. You know? Go ahead, bro.
It says a blow. Now it says disgusting, foul, ugly, degrading, humiliating, of low estate.
A low estate. Go ahead.
Without worldly honor or esteem.
Without worldly honor or esteem. That's why everybody. And see, Isaac gave you that sword to keep everybody off your ass. Because if you didn't have that sword, and see, we're gonna get to see what that nigga like without that sword for that 1,000 years in the future. Cause see, that's gonna be your alarm clock is Ishmael waking your ass up every morning. You see? Cause that's gonna be them taskmasters, them Hamites, them. Cause see, you just been terrorizing everybody. So imagine when Esau ain't got that sword in the kingdom, and he just is this the man? You know? Look at that. And so we're gonna show you how it was. Get that in Ecclesiastes 47.
47:12.
Yeah.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 47, verse 12.
Yep.
After him rose up a wise son, and for his sake we dwell at large.
Yeah, this is talking about King Solomon. So after King David, a wise son is King Solomon. Go ahead.
Verse 13. Solomon reigned in a peaceable time and was honored.
It just said he was vowed. It said King Solomon was a wise son, and he reigned in what? A peaceable time. Go ahead.
And was honored.
And was honored. When you say vow, it said no honor. You see? Two manner of people. Two manner of rulerships. Go ahead.
For the Most High made all quiet round about him.
So everything was at peace. Go ahead.
That he might build a house in his name and prepare his sanctuary forever.
Yeah, he built a temple. Go ahead.
Verse 14. How wise was thou in thy youth?
Yep.
And as a flood filled with understanding.
As a flood filled with understanding. Go ahead.
Thy soul covered the whole earth.
Thy soul covered the whole earth. So that wise spirit that was in King Solomon, it covered the whole earth. You mean you couldn't go nowhere without the influence of King Solomon's wisdom. Like today, you have what? Babylon been the golden cup. Now wickedness is everywhere. That's why you can go to Thailand. It's a Thailand woman with that nigga woman energy, like, you know, drill. I looking up that shit, drill in China, drill music in China. Why? Because this nigga wicked spirit covered the whole earth. But back then, King Solomon, his wise and peaceable spirit, it covered the earth. You couldn't go nowhere without the influence of King Solomon. Go ahead.
Thou fillest with the dark parables.
Yep.
Verse 16. Thy name went far into the islands, and for thy peace was thou was beloved.
For thy peace thou was beloved. You see? The reason why people ain't on Esau ass is because this nigga love war. It's like that nigga, you know, he'll shoot you anywhere.
Yep.
So this nigga don't care about shit. So you can't even argue with this nigga because you know he don't give a fuck about nothing. Yeah. That's the spirit of Esau on the earth.
That nigga ain't got no understanding.
Yeah, like, okay, like this nigga, he'll, like, these nations know he'll nuke me about this shit. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. You can have the oil. They're like, God damn. You know? But, you know, but they're showing you the difference between Jacob and Esau, righteous and wicked. You know?
Probably back in those times, because in those times, you know, you can walk around, you ain't even look over your shoulder not once. Here, it's every second, every day. Because the vibration of this man is on people. That sword, wickedness.
In this kingdom, you gotta investigate every sound. fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, when looking at the, you know, shit, oh, man.
Be at work, ice machine going off. Alright.
Yeah. Hey, but that was the point. You know, Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters, edify once again. Turn and face the east and give all praises to
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Kakadash.
and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, and being great examples towards younger brothers, and peace and blessing, salutation over Lake Shalom.
Shalom.
Like my boy Don Trip said, oh, that's the ice making machine. Oh, I'm going.
Shalom, shalom.